Ahmadi Muslims are deeply committed to the promotion of peace, freedom, loyalty to country, and service to humanity. In 2011, our community established an annual Ahmadiyya Muslim Humanitarian Award to recognize the services and contributions of individuals who selflessly strive to assist oppressed and disadvantaged communities around the world. By being an advocate for these communities, these individuals protect and safeguard fundamental and universal human rights. This year, we are delighted to honor the extraordinary work of Dr. Milton Boniuk. Dr. Boniuk has practiced ophthalmology for nearly 60 years. He is the Caroline F. Ells Chair of Ophthalmology and Professor of Ophthalmology at Baylor College of Medicine in Houston, Texas. The Boniuk family has a strong commitment to philanthropy and a vision for change. Their belief that the world can be made a better place guides the work of the Boniuk Foundation. It believes that all religions, cultures, and ethnicities have a unique contribution to share with the world, and that differences among individuals are to be celebrated and not feared. Dr. Boniuk and his wife, Lori, have donated an extraordinary amount of their wealth to fund the Boniuk Institute for the Study and Advancement of Religious Tolerance at the prestigious Rice University in Houston, with the mission of promoting research, education, outreach, and better parenting to foster religious tolerance by using innovative methods to reach young people, their parents, and their grandparents. We are absolutely delighted to have Dr. Boniuk and his wife, Lori, in attendance here today. We invite Dr. Boniuk to accept the 2016 Ahmadiyya Muslim Humanitarian Award from our presiding chair, and then to share some remarks.
Thank you very much. I'm extremely humbled and honored to have been chosen to receive this humanitarian award by a community of Muslims that I greatly admire and respect. I just witnessed all these speakers speaking so highly, so commendably about the Ahmadiyya community. And I'm not surprised about this, because I've gotten to know them very well. And my relationship with this sect of Islam began when I attended a Thanksgiving dinner celebration 7 or 8 years ago. I learned a lot from two of your leaders in Houston, Shahed Ahmed and Dr. Amir Malik, who is here with you from Houston, and actually attended 5 or 6 programs at the local mosque in the north part of Houston. Furthermore, Lori and I previously attended your national meeting in Harrisburg in 2012. At that time, we met your spiritual leader, His Holiness Mirza Masroor Ahmed, who has long promoted global peace and religious harmony and has been a vocal opponent of violent extremism. I've learned that your community has always been peaceful and patriotic to the countries where you reside, and you've heard that from other speakers, and treat members of other religious groups with complete respect. I've learned the charitable work you do in the communities where you reside, and your active support of the local blood program and other philanthropic activities that occur in the Houston and surrounding area. I've also learned that your group has been persecuted by practically all other Muslim sects, especially in Pakistan and Indonesia, where you are not recognized as Muslims because you adhere to the teachings of your founder and prophet in the 19th century who actually proclaimed himself as the Messiah. Now, what I've also learned from personal discussions with hundreds of Muslims I know or whom I've met is that most individuals have not heard of your sect. And I've talked to hundreds of people, and only one out of maybe 500 had heard of your sect. And this is both Muslims and non-Muslims. But I have been told by other members of other Muslim sects that you were bad people. Why? They didn't know. But they had heard this from their families and from their religious training. And when I told people how little you differ, particularly, practically everyone I've talked to believe this is absolutely ridiculous and unwarranted. When I asked why the Sunnis and Shiites were constantly fighting, they had no idea. Personally, I greatly admire your sect. You have strong, happy family units. You are very charitable. And I will do everything I can to promote universal acceptance by other Muslim sects and the general community. I love your official motto, which you've already heard several times from previous speakers: love for all, hatred for none. This is a beautiful message for the world to hear. My interaction with your group has helped me realize that we cannot achieve universal tolerance amongst all the world religions if we continue to have interfaith conflicts such as exist with the Abrahamic and other religions. This led us to sponsor through the Boniuk Center and now the Boniuk Institute a series of symposia on conflicts within Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. And the Islam one attracted a crowd of about 550 or 600 people. It was extremely well accepted. And just 4 months ago, at my instigation, the Boniuk Institute sponsored a 2-day meeting to discuss controversial areas within the Quran. This program was moderated by Dr. Emran El-Badawi, Director of Middle Eastern Studies Department at University of Houston. And he arranged for religious leaders from 8 different Muslim sects who each gave a 15-minute presentation about their views and took questions from the audience for 15 minutes. On the second day, Dr. El-Badawi prepared 5 questions about possible controversies in the Quran, and each speaker discussed their views. It was an amazing meeting, and Mr. Mujib-ur Rahman, one of Pakistan's finest jurists and a member of your community, was one of the participants. There was tremendous civility and cordiality, and every speaker recommended that the conversations continue, and I plan to make this happen. Dr. David Lebron, president of Rice University, Dr. Paula Sanders, our current director, and Charles Landgraf, who's the chairman of the advisory board, have made a commitment with our financial support to hold a major symposium on hate speech and the Constitution within the coming year. Dr. Paula Sanders is also planning a program in December where we hope to establish a code of religious conduct and a circle of religious tolerance at the Boniuk Institute. My personal feeling is that we all should become compassionate and caring and treat everyone with respect. And we have to practice tolerance before we preach it. And I think that's something that you people do. your community has learned to do this, and many of the others, Muslim sects and religious organizations, need to follow your example. As I reflect over my past, my life has had four components: family, medicine, real estate, and charity. My parents, and they were both uneducated, raised 5 children who all went to college, produced 3 doctors, a dentist, and a teacher. And I'm very grateful for the upbringing and education that they provided. I was fortunate to have come to Baylor in 1961. I'm still working full-time at Baylor, 55 years. This is my 56th year. And one of the best things that happened is that I got involved in commercial real estate investments in 1972. I want to tell you that when I came to Houston, I had no money. I had a couple $1,000s in the bank. And I was able to do extremely well. And my wife and I made a decision in 2003 to develop generation skipping trusts for our grandchildren, and we decided to give half of our estate to charity. This financial success has allowed us to donate our resources to religious tolerance, education of our young, and parenting programs. For the latter, education and parenting, we have partnered with Chicken Soup for the Soul, producing 3 books, sponsoring a TV program on CBS called Hidden Heroes, and developing a curriculum for an anti-bullying program for elementary and middle schools. To supplement this program, the Boniuk Institute is fortunate to have hired Dr. Zahra Jamal, a member of the Ismaili community, who is now the Associate Director of the Boniuk Institute. She has been developing a wonderful program to promote religious tolerance in our public schools, and we hope this will be completed in the near future. Sadly, my parents are no longer with us, and sadly, I've lost 3 of my siblings, but I'm so fortunate to have the support of my wife of 58 years, Lori, who's with us, and she has been a partner in all of these activities. Without her support, none of this would have been possible. Lori, I want to thank you, and I love you, and appreciate all you've done. Thank you so much.